There we go. All right. So we discovered Dante's not this. So Phoenix, Maya, and Lil Baby Pearl were at this convention at a hotel, and the main like character, dude was supposed to start talking, like give a speech or whatever, and make an announcement just for him to turn up dead, right? Or just for his rival to turn up dead. Um, so he's arrested. Also, Maya gets kidnapped and the kidnapper says, "We have to get that guy, um, free. Like we have to successfully defend him so he doesn't go to jail. Otherwise, it's gonna be a problem for Maya, right?" So we found out all types of crazy shit about the dude that's in jail. Found out his manager used to be mentored by the manager of the guy who died, and that mentee herself, and the manager's like codependent and all kinds of other shit. So it's crazy. Wish someone would kidnap me so I have to pay this debt. I feel that. So it's a lot going on. So we are going to switch over, which means we will say goodbye to the music. Oh no, 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 no. And start this shit. Let me move this up a little bit. Let me move this up a little bit. Okay. All right, here we go. Here is Mr. On God. Oh, that's why I had it where it was. Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that. So Adrian, if I remember correctly, is his manager? Hi, Keiko. Welcome in. And maybe crocheting while watching. Yeah, I'm excited to see what this case is gonna come to. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? Also, this guy is dumber than a box of rocks and can't think for himself. So, bless his heart. Bless his heart. I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer, dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. He kinda, no. Y'all can like him cute, but y'all can't like him dumb too, and he dumb. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Mia! Oh, so this is Pearl channeling Mia. We must get a complete acquittal today. I know. But I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Little pearls are so big, they are. Young, dumb, and now Neo. What? Or pearls either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. Oh, it's that transceiver. It's him. This is Wright.
Good morning. This is it.
Mr. Attorney, the day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry. People don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. Girl, why he growling? What the fuck? Phoenix got that dog in him. Phoenix got that dog in him out here growling. What the hell? For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give to me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please. Wait! Oh. Well, there goes that. Also, let me do this really quick. There we go. The kidnapper sent me a present? Mr. Lawyer Dude? Who was that? No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? What's in the box? Would have knew Phoenix was a dog, but after him barking, we know for sure, right? That Jack is it is a choice. It's a wrong choice, but a choice. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Ongard. Are the prosecution and defense ready? Daddy Judge is crazy. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Where the fuck? Where's the prosecution? Not they on CP time.
What the fuck is going on in here on this day?
I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Right, why he yelling at me like I got something to do with where she at? Man, fuck her daddy and fuck her too. Your Honor, please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. Oh, hi, Clarissa. Now, Cade, I'm not even gonna say nothing. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor. Prosecutor Von Karma has... This... What? Whoa! She was shot by an unknown gunman?
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
You know what she deserved it? Wait. Damn. Wait. Wait. Well, maybe she shouldn't be whooping people all the time. Well, the judge's face. I don't know she's dead. They just said she was shot. All right, let me get these glasses off. I don't know. What is going on? So, okay. So if you missed last week's stream, right? We saw that Edgeworth came back and gave Little Miss Von Karma a good talking to because she needed that shit because she was out of line and out of hand. But now she's shot. Who did it? Wait. Is this the gift? Wait. Is this the gift the dude on the phone was talking about? This is too much. This is too much. What? Shot? No, okay, not the day after day. Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about. Me too, Mia. That's what I think. That's what I think too, Mia. His present. Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage. I don't need that advantage. I don't whooped her ass in court at least 3 times already. I don't need her. I don't need that. Listen.
I'm Phoenix motherfucking Wright. I don't need no help. I got this.
Anyway. More an insult than a gift. Wait, that is Pearl channeling Mia. Hi, Tootie. How are you? Can I have a shout out for Tootie, please? How are you? Welcome on in. This is totally insane. If y'all not following Tootie, so kind, so funny, honestly. Funny as all hell. Be sure to follow Tootie. Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. The timing. Someone took the glasses? Yeah, someone took my glasses. Always coming at the perfect timing, honestly. Hi, Naya. Welcome in. All right, so they're saying she's alive and in stable condition. Who is this? That's good. Whew. I thought he'd show up. Oh, it's Edgeworth! It's Edgeworth! Riss is blind. I can still kind of see. I ain't that damn blind. You're on. You know, that was valid. That was valid. That was valid. Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Franziska Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Ongard. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Right? I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. It's gone 4 minutes waiting. I think I still have... Oh, I just have like 10 seconds left. Like I said. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Hi, Detective. Witness, your name and occupation? My name is Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. For now. For now? After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. Hi, Killer Sam. You get no notification or nothing. You know, Twitch don't like me. And that's okay. I'm still a bad bitch. I think anybody who subscribes to my YouTube should have gotten a notification, though. I think. Detective Gumshoe? Usually do on YouTube? Okay, yeah. The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Hi, Arya. Welcome in. Yes, sir. Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. You were sitting here like, why is she so late? Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. I'm here to see your lawyer skills, but also ask my opinion on Ferranda. I honestly really enjoyed Ferranda on Big Brother. She did such a good job. I think the other girl, Danette, wasn't, I think she was the one that was on ANTM. She was cool too. I wish she would have been on Big Brother. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, inside joke if you watched Hots vs Hotties last night. Bare facts of the case. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Corrida, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room? Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant went alone to their room, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Now how you gonna die by knife while having armor on? You feel me? Like... Alright, here we go. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award, sir. The victim, Juan Corrida, was found dead in his hotel room. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about? She's the defendant, Matt Ongar's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir. Oh, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her No.
What the fuck is going on in here on this day?
When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. Ungard. After visiting his room, she went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. I see. And that's when she found the victim's body. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. Thank you for the lyrics, Turkey Burrito. They both trying to get lucky or something? That's what I'm saying. Like, what? The cause of death, wasn't that because Mr. Corito was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal.
Wait a damn minute.
Who the fuck you talking to like that, sir? Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, oh my god, there's something on my eye. It's pissing me off. There we go. Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here to this bandana. Oh, banana. His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir. Ah, yes, I see. His banana scented no.
This bitch.
Then what about the knife? It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. Huh, we have a crafty murderer on our hands here. So his cause of death wasn't that he was stabbed. Oh my god. So he wasn't stabbed, he was strangled to death and then stabbed. How was the judge we ask ourselves that every case. How did he make it up the ranks to be a judge? We will never know. At first we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. Well, why? And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. Oh, because, okay, so the character that Juan Carita played was called like Ninja something, and his character is literally known for his guitar, and it's like a bright red guitar at that. So that's why the case being empty was weird to everybody. The Jammin' Ninja, see? Documentation on the judge because Suri went to school, honestly. What is in my eye? Anyway, the Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it? How's that? We thought of that too, but the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh? I see. So much for my theory then. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. Well, how you figure? What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Oh. Where the fuck was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. So you mean he forgot to put the guitar back in? He forgot to put the guitar in the case? Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. Huh. I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt Ungard? Because there was no reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter. Yes, sir. All right. Why are we arresting Ungard? Matt Ungard and Juan Carita were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's a Gem and Ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja's costume and was found in Mr. Ungard's. Okay, how do y'all say this? Is it Hakama or Hakama? Girl, I don't know. Hakama. Okay, so my first instinct was right. Hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. Gumshoe Kid, he's gonna change his name? What an entrance, Matt. Also, I almost forgot. Kate and Matt are here, and they are part of the first episode of Pop Off. Friday, February 28th, 5 p.m., along with the beautiful, fabulous Pearl Tees. Ken can tell y'all, I was working on a lot of the scenes for that and getting everything together, and it's looking so good so far. What's that? A show that you're not on anymore. I think I've already found a replacement, and I have their photo. I just gotta update the flyer. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a Wait, I don't think he bought the knife. I think the knife came with his dinner. How could he have bought the knife? There was a similar knife in Juan's room. Also be answering all the questions from your home. It would be all of you. Thank you so much. So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing. It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. Bears the victim's blood and Ungard's fingerprints. And the grip gatewater is engraved. Yeah, because it's a hotel knife. He didn't buy that knife. The knife was definitely for food. I think there's something else, and then he was... Well, yeah, so they said he was strangled and then stabbed. So that... We know that much. And there's this button that was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? That's a butter or cheese knife. That's not meant for stabbage. Right, it's not even a steak knife. And is this button also covered in blood? Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What? Ripped from his costume is covered in Krita's blood found in Ungard's Hakama. All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Okay. I think... Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Butter knives can't even cut cold butter. You thought it was an egg? It does look kind of like an egg. Ready to give in yet? Right? Hell no. I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. I already think there's a hole in the argument because you try to say it was premeditated and the knife is from the damn hotel. How he buy The math ain't mathin'. It's not premeditated if it's a knife that was provided for his lunch. So we're probably gonna have to present that knife on that statement. You can press as hard as you like, just hurry up with your usual pointless Shut the fuck up, bitch. Matt, Ongar, and Juan were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's well known from my book. Evidence, there's a gem in Ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja costume and found in Mr. Ongar's Hakama. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Kurita. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button. It was almost immediately after the murder. Police didn't even have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? Was he there to catch him just to make a question wrong? Oh, that's crazy. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime because of premeditated murder. No. That don't make no damn sense. How was it he didn't buy the knife. It says Gatewater right on there.
I just want to say that.
Thank you for the resub for 2 months. I really appreciate it. Welcome in, welcome back. All right, wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand? That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Wait, don't get mad at me. What? Quickly. Quickly. I'm not mad, I'm cautious. I'm prepared. We wait. Like, for how long else on Discord is crazy? Oh, that doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. Wait, huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh? It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle. Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel. Which means this murder was not premeditated. Gatewater, not this. Water. Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. But I didn't know. Oh. The question is, where did this knife come from? Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Karuta's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what's on top of the table. There is a knife and fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt Ungar. Especially what's on top of his table. There's something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife? We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt Ungar's knife was missing. Oh. Mr. Ungar had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven that this was a premeditated murder. As you're getting on the edge of your nerves, I like him way more than Von Karma. Both Von Karmas. Both of them kiss my ass. Francisca and her damn daddy. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. It seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of Your Honor's time. He's not bad, it's a little smug for your taste. I feel that. Von whoops that ass, unfortunately. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright? Well, Phoenix. The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, that gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat. Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court? Bitch, I don't know. I don't know, girl. Oh, the fuck? Alright, so that's on guard. The hotel map. Wine glass since I've been being drank. Ursa, yes, girl got the evidence. I shuffled through a million papers and did. Cause what? I think it's. I remember last time there was a lot of emphasis thrown on that wine glass. So I think it's the wine glass. Because they were like, hey, why did shit just sit here? It looked like there was a whole struggle in this piece. But this glass was sitting here all sweet, perfect, and beautiful. And no one even drank out of it. I think it's the wine glass. There's one. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. She said, speaking of wine, listen, your girl is thirsty. I had to take a little sip of my drink. Something that this court has yet to see. Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance. And only one. What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. Oh, I really only have one chance, y'all. Look. So normally when it's a crucial part, if I get it wrong, I get like points knocked off. How many points I get knocked off starts to blink. Look at this shit. Everything's blinking. The whole bar is blinking up there. Okay, so they are dead ass. I really think it's the wine glass, because I remember when we were doing the investigation, we looked at that wine glass and we were like, hey, there was a whole struggle in this room, but yet that glass never got knocked over. Or, I mean, a vase got knocked over, lotion bottles and shit got knocked over, but that wine glass was sitting there perfectly still, perfectly full. You better start cheating? What? Crazy. All right. Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court? I think it's the wine glass. All right. This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The way I'd suddenly start knowing everything. Not you cheating, Matt. Okay, I think I'm right. We're good. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup all over the floor. There were things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser. Well, yes, I see your point. However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over, along with everything else, is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say? Well, yeah, it's a little peculiar. Yes, isn't it? I thought it was. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours.
Wait a damn minute.
Rude. Mr. Edgeworth? What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion? You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place by the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. Huh. That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright. So you're right. I think I was right. Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? I don't think so. If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty. But it just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table. Huh, you've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim? There's no way he has any. He's just bluff. Oh, he about to have proof. The way he said that. He about to have proof. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then... Of course, it had been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints. There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one? Well, whose were they? They were not the victims nor the defendant. Rather, they were of one Adrian Andrews. What? Okay. I feel like Jonathan Glass would be more realistic, yeah. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? I can't believe I fell into another trap. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Clarita. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser. Huh. What you just said makes a lot of sense. Now what do you... Now do you see, right? You can't change any part of my scenario, as it explains everything all too well. I thought long and hard about this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover. Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Hey, Galaxy, how are you? Welcome in. I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Does Homegirl even drink tomato juice? To be honest, if you drink straight up tomato juice, I'm looking at you sideways. Because... You feel me? Doing alright? How's this game? This game is crazy, but it's good. The game is crazy, but it's good. Another witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. You hate tomatoes? See, I can't just drink tomato juice. Like, that don't even sound a quarter of a bit appealing. It sounds like you're just drinking unseasoned pasta sauce. Like, what? What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Not this bitch. I think I've seen it, never played before. I've never played this before either. So I'm excited. Well, V8 is not just tomato juice though. It's a bunch of veggies. I used to drink this one V8 juice where it also had fruit juice in it. So it just tasted like fruit, but it had all those veggies also. I felt healthy. Now then, witness. Please state your name and occupation. Oh, it's this bitch old bag. Witness. Your name and occupation. Ratatata. Ratatata. Oh, she's done. Hey, Gotcha. Oh, he's pissed. He's pissed. Look at his face. Why he look like, okay. There's only a handful of people who will understand the reference I'm about to make, okay? Why he look like Colonel Stinkmeaner? Tell me he don't have the face of Stinkmeaner from the Boondocks. You can't. If you get the reference, you do. If you don't, you don't. Hi, AJ the Bay. Look, he do. It's the eyes. It's the eyes. Come on, Stinkmeaner. Come on. I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Oh, that shit out the window, bro. Oh, edgy boy. It's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I was trying to lurk, but that one got you good. Don't worry. No worries. Welcome in. Just gotta add the creepy smile, honestly. I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet is the wicked witch of the witness? The wicked witch of the witness there? Come on, Glinda. No. Okay. I tell you this time, I know what I'm supposed to do. So today, I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime. Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know. Ratatata, brrrra, brrrra, shush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps. Yes, madam. Oldback is a crazy name. No. Please, by all means, interrupt her. Please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. Where's the bitch with the nip when you need her? Honestly. It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I'm not at all edgy. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail.
The ghetto!
The security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? It was a great job being able to see my dearie one. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle. You mean you were a fan of the victim? Does it look like he's about to ratatata her head off? As he should, honestly. Phoenix, you start calling him edgy. Well. Look, everyone is crazy over that ungod, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Corrida. But those two are the same age. Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. Them eyebrows thin as fuck. So is Edgeworth's patience. Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Alright, well, my little beverage is done. So we will be switching to water for the remainder of the stream. Once I figure out where to put this shit. There we go. What? Almost as thin as this weight. Why are you lying to people? Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was on guard. Mad on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. Oh, we body shaming now? No, I just said don't lie. There's a difference. Don't lie. So, Mr. Ungard came out from the victim's room. See, it has to be him. He's the murderer. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to help set up that stage for the trifling show, but I refused to help. I'll have you know, it's for that lead-headed samurai show. He gave. Not this. Hi, Panda. Welcome in. I even took out a few of the nails. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Unhinged, honestly. So the hourglass chick. I can't. Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door. There was something I was interested in finding out. You know, what were you interested in finding out? Something you were interested in? And just what was it? It's not some little thing I just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. And Edgy Poo, of course. Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. You've never seen the clip? Which clip? Y'all got me interested now. My eyes squinting and stuff. Gossip. Oh, Lotta told us about some gossip about Adrian possibly dating Juan. I think that's the gossip. But it should prove relevant. Should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later. Not this, Matt. Bye. It looks like we should enforce it right now. And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a Maya coming out of poor Juan's room. It was on guard. Matt on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. You saw my client. Are you sure about that? Yes. Really? No, I'm bright. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve further into this a bit. What was he wearing? Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail. What a troublesome man you are, really, as if something like that matters. But it does. Now, what was it? Oh, yes, it was that thing. What thing? That gotta thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket. Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center. Oh, shit. He was wearing that at the detention center, too. Return to a southern old woman, because I'm being older back, and she gives that very much. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men. Right. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? It was very important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you'd like to point out what part of that testimony was important? Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this. But alright, witness please. Well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show. If he was wearing that jacket, I don't think he was. Or I don't think that's correct. Because, y'all remember they found that button on him. And something like that, I don't think the button would snag on that jacket. It might snag on his regular, like, samurai clothes, but I don't foresee it snagging on that racing jacket. Like, look. Like, I can see the button probably snagging on that because it's fabric. But that racing jacket isn't. Miss Oldback. What? Don't say my name for no reason. Do you know what this is? Ah, it's button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. Give it here, give it here. If you don't give it to me, I will punish you with this. Wow, she really is a diehard fan and want a button covered in blood. Hi, Tyler. This button was discovered on Mr. Ungard's body during a full body search. See? This button proved beyond a shadow of a doubt it was the rascal Ungard. It was caught up in the pants of his nickel samurai, Hakama. See? And Ungard is the nickel samurai. Witness. Alright, this no. I refuse to think about me witnessing this firsthand. The only jury duty you to go to, not this. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Ungard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the and then he gets this, and all this other stuff, boomer speaking, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because I'm an old-winded bag. I'm a long-winded old bag bitch talking about who the fuck knows, and I'm not reading all this because the words are going too fast, and what I look like trying to read this, and now she talking about edgy poo. Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Ungard the man, but Mr. Ungard the nickel samurai? But when you think about it, okay. They're really one and the same anyway. Who are you talking about? Ugh, and her mouth lighting up with that helmet? I don't know, bro. This is a very important point we're talking about. Ajupo, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Huh. Y'all didn't see the double cheek? What? Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. All right, view and see us. I should be the one sighing, not you. I think we should probably keep the Alfredo nickname to the ones who kind of have a rapport with it. You know? Otherwise, just call her Brandini. Just my thought. I was gonna say the granny had more ass than you. Why are we looking at granny ass? Miss Loretta, I'm ready for the rest of the tour. What? I did not see her ass. Is it in the clip? Now I gotta watch this. Because I ain't see this lady ass. And y'all talking about she got ass. And I didn't see it. I'm so confused. Because she's behind the witness stand. I don't know. I missed it. On guard. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai. That's right. It was the nickel samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. Had he had to go to that post ceremony stage show right after the ceremony, you know. Okay. I clearly can't read for shit right now. Hold on. He had to go to that post ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. He must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Ah, youngins today, I told you there is no way it was anyone else. So how do you know that? Because I said so. And what I say is the truth. At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Okay, Delulu, let me see this. I'm so interested. She has an average amount of ass, nothing crazy. But I do acknowledge the presence of booty. I do acknowledge the presence. Oh my god, what have so many... What are so many messages? Hold on. Hold on. Alright, here we go. On God. Guess now I remember. The nickel samurai, that's right. It was the nickel samurai that I saw. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket. And now he's not? Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this. When you were itty bitty, what was your grand dream? Huh? What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper? My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be Judge West. Bet you can't do that no more. Bet you can't play that no more. Hold on. While I'm here... Scared your thoughts away. Well, it was nice while it lasted. It was not nice. In fact, it was not nice. Y'all moaned a little too much and did. And did. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna get back to it in just a second, y'all. Yeah. Almost made you spill your little juice. See, I'd be mad if I had liquor in my cup and I almost spilled it. I do. What little sounds alert. There's still others, just some of them are gone. Alright. Wait. Okay, so I wasn't looking at the screen because I was messing with them alerts, right? Did this man say he want to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court? People of a certain age who grew up loving the people's court remember Judge Wapner. Before Judge Million, there was Judge Wapner. That was the older white guy. That's crazy. Hi, honeybee. Welcome in. I see what y'all did there. See? And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you? Well, what I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? The now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past. Since when did court become theatrics over testimony? They're just getting real, honestly. All that matters is that man was inside the costume. Isn't that enough? Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. Okay. Let me see something real quick. Y'all, I peeped something. I peeped something. So this is the costume she says he was wearing when he left the room, right? And if you remember, Gumshoe said the knife was sticky, so it made it very easy to get clear prints. But if you look at his costume, he has gloves on. So even if the knife was sticky, he might have rubbed some of them prints the fuck off. Just my theory. You had to go to that post ceremony stage show it after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume. I don't think he was. I don't think he was. Because they claim his prints were on it. With that, I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? Not this. If Mr. Ungard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because there's gloves on that costume. So you know he, like, while he's holding the knife, we'll use this makeup brush. While he's holding the knife, it would have slipped, like he would have rubbed it off. I'm just saying. Hi, Cosmosis. You object as you should. Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. Oh, why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There is no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as a Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what did it say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory, I'm here to cause chaos, maybe a scam train? No, Buki, it's not going to happen. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? Say in Espanol, and I won't. What do you want me to say exactly that you won't? Tú no quieres problemas. Porque tú no quieres problemas. Tú no quieres problemas. You're saying I don't want no problems, and you don't. So, siéntate, por favor. Gracias. Si quiero, no te quiero. Siéntate, por favor. I'd help you, but I'd low-key want the scam train. She said, sit down. Not a farm. Cosmo says it is this kind of comes with living out here. You hear a lot of Spanish. And then I took some Spanish class and retained a smidge of Spanish. I'm not fluent. I know a little bit, but I'm not fluent. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. On Guard was the killer. If that's the case, sit your ass down and do. I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Oh! He couldn't have gone to the victim's room without intent because the knife that was used wasn't in Juan's room. The knife came from Matt or On Guard's room. So it has to be the knife again. This guy's made you mad. They try to teach you Spanish from Spain, which doesn't use it. Yeah. It's a totally different dialect, Spanish in Spain. Totally different. And then they have a whole other dialect. I think it was like Catalan or something like that. Again, different. This knife, this was used by Mr. On Guard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Carita. Castilian, there it is. Yeah, it's different. Pretty much, yeah, every Spanish-speaking country, like even, because I had a friend who was, it's fuck her now, because we're not cool, but I had a friend who was Salvadorian, and their Spanish is different. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Huh. Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. Well, they got their own Spanish, so whenever I speak Spanish, Clemens get confused. Yeah. Castilians and Cubans. See, and I only know Mexican Spanish for the most part, so we know enough to get through. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the glove. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Order! Order, I say. Order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? To frame Matt. To frame my client, Mr. On Guard, of course. To frame? Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness saw the nickel samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. There goes Stinkmeaner. Witness. Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult, ain't Edgy Poo? Witness, did you or did you not really see the nickel samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but are you saying you mix up On Guard with the nickel samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the nickel samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the nickel samurai? Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Carita. Am I right, witness? The way you think you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? Of judging, bitch! You are a terrible judge. You're dumber than a box of rocks. Your circus is like 5 clowns short. Lights on, nobody home. So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room, but it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Carita. And sus AF, honestly. Okay, hear me. The quick no is crazy. Maybe the Old Bag was waiting around for that person. Maybe she was like Lotta. Lotta was looking for Adrian. Miss Oldbag, were you waiting for this person to come out of the... You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, aren't you? Where's she at? Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. On Guard's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be... Not you kicking yourself off the ship! It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh. Oh, I see. The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing. Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's Adrian Andrews? Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn confidentiality stuff then. Witness, what in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. All right, here we go. I know when I sin. I've got some information, some very secret information from a certain... You got it from Lotta. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation, in secret, of course. But what for? Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about this secret information. Get ready. It's gonna take the wind out you youngins. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10. Why she keep taking this helmet on and off? Like, bitch. Why you got your security outfit on in the first place at trial? That on guard is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager in to get close with Juan. I cannot condone such a dirty trick, so I took action. Oh, well, this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know. Okay? The defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip. But should this be true? Then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. All right. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Be careful, the old bag seems rather excited right now. All right. All right. That's right. On guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. No. Okay. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. All right, here we go. That on guard is one evil, evil man. Slow clap it out. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks. So I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet. Okay? Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information that no one else knows yet? If that's true, then how do you know this secret information? Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yeah, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out. How in the world did that old bag get such a secret piece of information? Do I have anything that I could present? Lotta. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? Well, if that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag? Well, why are you looking at me like that? Stop that. Witness? I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart. Oh, yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. She reported such a thing? On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrage or impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What? Outrageous ideas, you say? No. I said impressions. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless? Ah, that's it. That's the note. Oh. Yup. Rap snitches telling on your business. Sit in the court and be your own star witness. I know Ken is in the other room getting a kick out of that. No, you see, this is something completely different. If I got the whole studio set up for years, right? Oh, I was like, wait, what am I supposed to present here? This is my top secret list of groceries to buy. Groceries? Girl.
This bitch.
Huh, then you are You're the one who took Miss Hart's note? I'm a huge fan of wands, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She working with that Eva on guard. She said so herself. Oh God, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Everybody in the courtroom is sitting there like, now she put the helmet back on. Edgy you believe me, don't you? There goes Stink Meaner. I'm with them saying, I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. You really should come up with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine.
You ate that.
Well, yes. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just this once. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? No, fuck her. Hell no. If I love on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct? So, stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can. That's all. You're lying, damn. Oh, he said, damn it.
You ate that.
And that's a period.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Miss Old Bag. I don't believe that note is the only thing you stole that night. Yeah, the camera is missing too. What the fuck? Miss Old Bag. That note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it? A camera? Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie $1,600 camera disappeared on me. Why, witness? What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera too. Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera? Is this the camera you're looking for? That's... What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people. I think your definition of borrow is a little off. I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said slime bag celebrity photographer extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of picture she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things. Did she say she took it from the trash? She did. 100% was dumpster diving for things. Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai. See, I told you, that's the guy I saw. This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. What does this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? Well, let me take a look at it. Okay, I see the arm. So far, nothing seems amiss. And I do see the pants. And I did see the gear. It doesn't have the staff or whatever. Wait! You can see his feet here. But in this photo, the pants look like they're way too long. So, pantry hates see your high ass. Not this. So, I don't think this is Matt. It's somebody who's shorter than him. Cause look, you see right, like at his feet, how the pants are like scrunched up on the ground and dragging around. But then if you go to the poster that we know is on guard, right? You can see his shoes and everything. And like, it's like the pants hit at their ankles. So I still don't think that's on guard. That's somebody dressed as Nickel Samurai to make it look like it's on guard. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Ongard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is the defendant. That's not him in the outfit? It's not. I don't think that's him. That can't be him. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Hi, Mimi. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? Hell no! That's somebody else! If this photo is really decisive, then we're done for. If I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange with it. Yeah, the length of the pants. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there is nothing. No, I think we can agree there's something strange. The person in that photo is not on guard because why them pants dragging on the ground like a pair of Junko jeans? That's not him. There's no way for the defense. There's a way, even with a bunker buster.
This bitch.
Just watch. Just watch. Debunk with a bunker buster. Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
You got knocked the fuck out!
Y'all keep trying out life is crazy. Anyway, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Oh, well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't you take a good shot, especially when it counts? Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange? I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here. Yeah, their ankles, where these are dragging on the ground. What are you pointing to? His ankles? Yes! If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. And what does this mean? The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. Ongard. What is the meaning of this? I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the Hakama. Not Ohi fruit. Now, Brenny, like me, I'm done. The photo it says, I think there's something wrong with this. I think it's on him. His socks. You can see his socks. Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh, what is? Edward is unusually calm today. His pants are too long? Yeah, for sure. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all. Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? Edgeworth did it? I don't think he did. I don't think he did. I think his manager did. If the person in this photo is not Matt Ongard, everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I figured it would come to this. What? Right? That's something I want to ask you. I think you've proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt Ongard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Oh. Ooh. Well, okay. Someone short and close. I think it's Andrews. Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm? Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? Okay, it's definitely not Maya, Pearl, Gumshoe, this bitch, Edgeworth. It's not Powers. It's not Lotta. He's dead. He's already proven not to be. She's a dumbass. She's dead. So it has to be Aaron. Or Aaron. God, I always call her Aaron because of the sportscaster. Adrian Andrews. If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Ongard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Ongard that night. How does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Ongard's fingerprints all over it. True. the knife that was used as a murder weapon. Why don't you just say what you want, right? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. I love that old bag is just standing there soaking this all in. Order, order, order! It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day? Ooh. If I don't get a verdict today, then my... Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn court.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
Let's just wait and see. I don't have anything left, no evidence, no nothing. Now then, court will adjourn. I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development. Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. And what do you... Ooh?
What do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan. Even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. Not this. Alright, well, he's a bit slow to catch on. Come on, subpoenaing. Sound it out. Hooked on phonics. What? Girl, I can't read. I can't either today, apparently. What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She's the next witness. Oh. Everything was planned out in advance by that man. Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness at that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Jesus Christ. Yes, I'd like to save. Whew. Hold up a second. That was a lot. Okay. So we know it's not oh my god, on guard, because that photo that Lotta took shows the person leaving was definitely shorter than he is. But then my whole thing is, why would she want to frame On Guard if she's his manager? I don't know. Something just like, and remember they said she's codependent. So that's another thing that's kind of bothering me is if she's codependent, why would she frame the person she's dependent on? How tall is Edgeworth? I have no idea. It doesn't really say. Dude, I can't believe that, Adrian. No way, not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She's your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your Hakama. Huh. Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yeah, she is the real killer. She's the one who murdered Juan Carita. But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of the day. Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze. Okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Why is all the men so hot? Now, girl...
Stand up! Stand up!
Phoenix? You think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right? That's right. I think she thinks Juan hid that note. Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impact as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impact suddenly unalived herself. It sounds like she left the note, and the person who thought to have hidden it is Juan Carita, the victim of this murder. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to him, all to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to its impacts. It was Edgeworth. It was Edgeworth. It looks like Brenny. It looks like he's still the one in command of the ship. Don't let your guard down yet. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Alright, we're back. Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court, Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Von Carita's room. What is your occupation? I am the man. Okay, I want to sound a little dignified, so I'm trying to find it, because I feel like this would be her voice. I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Ongard. I see. Now then, before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yes, sure, what is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of gossip. No. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me, honestly. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relationship to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Kurita. I was also aware of the rivalry. Oh, she got that card! Remember at the end of stream last week when we saw what looked like Maya breaking out of whatever holding cell she was in? She used a card that had that same print on it. Sus! I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself. Huh, so it was a fry and bait matter? Or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. What the fuck is he on about? But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that. I think there's someone who would beg to differ. I think we all understand your relationships with the victim. Now, Ms. Andrews. Very well then, witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was naturally, excuse me, the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. You think her and Edgeworth were in on it? That would be crazy if Edgeworth was in on it, considering he's so high and mighty. Okay. Yes, sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix? She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing. Disrupt her pacing? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understand? Well, damn, Mia, thanks for putting all this pressure on me, friend. Golly. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock. You were in shock? What? Was I not supposed to be? Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Yeah, I don't think so either. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. Huh, I see. What I saw was naturally the same scene as the crime photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. Juice. Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? Huh? There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it, sorry. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Carita, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time. Your mind was a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing. What one thing? Never mind, it's no big deal. What was she starting to say just now? Nah, press that ass. Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. What could she have done other than pour that drink? I don't know. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Oh! Flower vase. Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser. But when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. What? Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? Girl, my eyelashes are attacking me today. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal your testimony. Let's look at this crime photo. Let's look at this crime photo. Okay. Then empty. There's some water, but only on top of the lid. Okay, so when... Whoa! Okay, so if she really did knock that vase over, the guitar case was closed because there was water on the guitar case, but it was only on the top, right? But if you look at the photo of the crime scene, that's not the crime scene. If you look at the photo of the crime scene, that case is open. So there's something strange going on. She couldn't have walked in and seen everything in disarray like this and knock the vase over, because there would be water and glass inside the case, but that's not the case. There's water on top of it. Something in the milk ain't clean, y'all. Okay, let's get back to this. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. I was the one who knocked the flower vase over where it fell onto the guitar case. I think this is where she fucks up. Because that means... So, hear me out. Say she did, in fact, knock the vase over on top of the guitar case. That means someone or her then opened the guitar case. And she said she ain't touched shit else. So, either she touched the guitar case or somebody came behind her and opened this guitar case. Because it's open in the photo. You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct? Yes. And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case? Is there some problem with what I said? It's not some problem. It's a major problem. True that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase, or the vase, fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. That's very true. Furthermore, there was one other strange thing about this guitar case. What is that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase or the vase fell, the glass shards should be inside, not outside. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what. See, he picking up what I'm putting down, y'all. What is your point, right? That the case was closed at the time of the vase was knocked over? Is that all? No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. That's right. She did implicitly say that she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter of the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all. That may very well be. However, ooh, crack my neck. The empty guitar case does seem to have no correlation to this case, does it? Oh, it seems that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case? The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. I can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As far as why I opened the case, even I don't know. Looks like this really wasn't a very important point. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using anyway to change the topic, a convenient escape for a weak man. Damn.
You ate that.
All right, here we go. She definitely did, and Edgeworth helps. She does something. Let's do this. There is no way you are the one who opened the guitar case. Oh, that's right. I was like, let me print this girl. But she couldn't have opened it because there was nobody's fingerprints but Juan's on it. So she ain't open that shit. She ain't open that shit. She had gloves on. Something told me to present that damn case again. Because it's like, what do you mean it's not important? Yes, it is. Us talking about the damn case led us to the second half of testimony. See the photo with the long pants again? Dear Diaz. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on the guitar case are those of the victim. What is it, Miss Andrews? You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case. What do you mean?
What do you mean by that?
What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? Why the fuck you got gloves on? Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It was the night of the award ceremony. So of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes. Now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. Oh, I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. That's strange. Because the person in the photo has some gloves on too. Sus AF, yeah. You were wearing gloves. Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? Well, yeah, she could have been wearing gloves because this wine glass got her fingerprints on it. So what'd she do? Take her gloves off to pour her a glass of tomato juice that she didn't even fucking drink, mind you? I have your proof right here, this wine glass. You almost done with the shawl? Ooh, post pictures once it's done. I have your proof right here. This wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Ah. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, we wouldn't think... Wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Oh, shit! Did she break her glasses and then put them back on? She's sweating. Order, order, order! Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty case. I wonder if it really was empty though. But the guitar, the Wright guitar, was at the studio. Drop all of your presumptions. What was a guitar case that was not bright red guitar? Do you think that note that she's been looking for was in that guitar case? Because remember, she thinks that On Guard had it. What if that note was in there? You don't mean it was a bright... What? No, Phoenix. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves despite the fact... What? Child... Okay. Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's useless misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided... No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews has testified before the court. Or testified at the vase. Wow. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I'm sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. If you're so sure, Wright, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us as to why that guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second. Okay. That the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. Red guitar not being the only thing. So as I said, I think it's the note. I think the note. You don't mean to suggest that So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty. Is that it, right? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? Oh! What if it wasn't the note? What if What if it was another costume? No, the guitar's not stolen. We've determined the guitar was at the studio. But she went in clearly without wearing dude's costume because On Guard was asleep wearing the costume. So I think it might be because remember, this is how she walked out. This is how she walked out. So I wonder if this whole fit was in that room, in that case. And that's why Juan left without grabbing the guitar, because in his guitar case was this fit. This is a photograph. Yes, but what's important is what is in the picture, Your Honor. In this picture. It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is, inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. There goes Stink Meaner. Hey, Stink Meaner. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Right, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? Oh, so it was! Oh, girl.
That motherfucker's guilty. That motherfucker's guilty. That motherfucker's guilty.
Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? At this point, he's just going with who has a strong argument. Yeah, he's honestly, the judge is clueless as all hell. He's just here to watch the show. It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Onguard's. Why would something of the defendant be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places. True, that's a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was this Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case? It was a spare. Mr. Onguard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we were talking about was a spare one. What? Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel? Yes, sir. That is what I'm saying. And how do you explain the costume on the side of the guitar case? It would mean... Wait a minute. Remember, so the Nickel Samurai has something to confess after the ceremony stage show. There's a spare costume in Juan's room. Could it be because he was the real Nickel Samurai? and On Guard was just the face. Because we've seen On Guard, he has 2 brain cells fighting for 5th place. So, okay. I think I'm cooking here. That could be what the confession was, that he wasn't really that. You guys hear Ube? Oh my god. Brandy, I'm jealous. Ube bread sounds good. The victim himself had brought the spirit to the ceremony on purpose. But why? The victim, Mr. Kurita, was the Jammin' Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spirit costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act?
What was the reason, bitch?
And therein lies the sticking point. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you. All right, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was I think something was going to be confessed at this show. What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Ongard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. He did say that. He did say that. But how can that be? The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was a setup by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Carita himself. The victim. Yes. The spare nickel costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Carita was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai. He was going to dress up as a Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at the conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he's going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Carita, posing as a Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Mr. Matt Ongard. Why, yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure. Huh. Miss Andrews, I can see why you are pros at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this. I was the one he asked to help set it up. And, okay, the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. Oh, you prepared the extra costume, bitch. Okay. You. Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. Give it a... Not give it up, Hormona Lisa. That's crazy. He was going to ruin him, huh? It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful. How are you doing, Ramoni? Welcome in. You can't unsee it, I know. But Adrian doesn't have a hard frame. Like, that little Bobbiana wig irks my nerve. That it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. What? What? And do you know what the secret of Mr. Ongard's is, Miss Andrews? Uh-oh. That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. Oh, I see. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all. Protect Mr. Ongar? Yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrew, can you please tell us about the truth about your behavior? Yes, Your Honor. Alright, here we go. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what, and he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course. The button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him. Well, I am the logical. He said that accounts for everything. He's like, well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit. If the defense can find no fault with the testimony, I'm ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright. Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. Let's put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. All right. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you? Don't confuse my methods of reasoning by your own methods. Okay. A family member... Wait, what? Food was way different from America? Oh, well, yeah. Absolutely. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need three things. Three things? A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. And if you think these three things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix. They didn't teach that to us in school, at least not from what I remember. May I continue now? Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi of what he was doing at the time. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. Okay. Now you have the munchies? Not this. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. Food on all 20 times better than food, yes. Oh yeah, a million times better, Brentini. You're not wrong. Also, whenever I go out the country, I'm like, I want to eat. Take me somewhere to eat. Then, what about the button? The button? It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Gemma Ninja's costume. You're talking about this button, correct? That button was found on the pleats of Matt's Hakama, isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence. Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright. But see, I don't think there was a fight though. I don't think there was a fight. A lot of the shit in our food. Yeah, that's what gets me, Brenny. Half the shit in our food that's not allowed in other countries. Like, what are we doing? I don't think there was a fight because if you remember, he wasn't just stabbed. He was stabbed after he was strangled. And it looks like he was strangled from behind. So I have thoughts. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. And well, not wrong. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes. Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony. That button was torn off Juan during his fight with Matt. But he didn't fight. He didn't fight, he was strangled. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. And what does that mean? Let's examine the evidence. The button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off the costume when? After the stab. After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Look at me cooking. Thank you for the work. Which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body. Yep. Y'all in here talking about foreign men is crazy. What is the meaning of this, right? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? That it was a plant. Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We know this button was not torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it? Girl, they wanted to pin it on guard. There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. Engard. There was no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. Engard was set up by the real killer, of course. And the real murderer is, well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then? Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end. The real killer The person who planned to frame Mr. Ongard is this bitch. Miss Adrian Andrews. I choose you, Pikachu! You are Mr. Kurita's killer. What? Order, Mr. Wright. This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? Any evidence? All the evidence points to Miss Andrews. Now you call me a pokeho. That's crazy. What? How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? Then what about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. Ongard naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And that was the only one who had dinner, and the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. Ooh, reading is difficult today. Go ahead and jump up. Now, Printini. Not the scream to cream. What about the button that was found in Matt's Hakuna? This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, Mr. Ongard was the real killer. There's no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakuma. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. Ongard's Hakuma is the person who went to awake him from his nap, which is you yet again. I see. What about the empty guitar case? There's also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume is used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. No, uh-oh. But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found in the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's right. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, use a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints in the glass so that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. Ongard. He'd be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not? Please stop. Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. Miss Andrews? I refuse to testify? What?
And
Okay. What was that? There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. Incriminate? Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. She pleads the fifth. F-I-F fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4 fifth. If you know where that's from. Excellent taste. Actually, thinking back to yesterday, Mr. Ongard's room. Adrian Andrews. Yes. Fifth. The eye's supposed to be little, though. Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? All right. That's it. That's when Francisca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things look bad. Mothball ass doing. We don't care about Von Karma. Right now, Mama is in the hospital nursing a gunshot wound to the shoulder. You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix, but there is still one thing you haven't done. Something I haven't done? What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you have proven is circumstantial. Circumstantial? Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to prove a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did, in fact, harbor a wish to murder Mr. Corrida. Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corrida? I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering. But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so or maybe not. There is nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. No, she's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia, what should we do? Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation. I think we've reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof. But that's not true. In this situation, there's only one thing this court can do, and that is to declare a recess. Recess? I request that both the prosecution and defense look further into this matter, and at tomorrow's trial, tomorrow? We don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue the trial. What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. Do you know much about San? I don't know much, no. I know little tidbits about San Fran. But the little bit I know, I wish I could afford to live there. Because every time I go, I just feel at ease. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya. But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is... It is not impossible for this trial to continue. Oh, it's expensive? Yeah, very. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you... It's true, Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that is very true, but actually, there's one little thing I'm curious about. Miss Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes. I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they're shaken up, but not stirring a glass of juice. So my actions were unusual. But I've already, before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify. Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what it is about Edward today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know. Oh.
Now listen! That's called motherfucking bars, nigga!
The court acknowledges the prosecution's request, Miss Andrews, if you please. All right, when she found the body. That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and I saw it in that messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. Girl, that don't even sound right. That don't even sound right, Buki. So you poured that glass of juice for the victim? Why don't you say so in your earlier testimony? I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left. I know. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay, you really didn't pour for yourself. Surprisingly, I walked to the room and saw the messy state. Sitting in the corner, slumped over and tired looking. How could you think he was fainted? Wait a minute. This doesn't make sense. This one right here. How do you think he fainted? Mama. There was a whole knife sticking out this man's chest. How you think he fainted? Okay. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? No, not at all. Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body? There's a whole knife. What is the meaning of this? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There is a knife sticking straight out of his chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that here was a dead man. Well, you see, I doubt a single person in the world would make this mistake for someone who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go to pour something to drink. Your point is, Miss Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly. That you are the real killer. Oh shit, she said no! It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt Ungard, is not guilty after all. But that's impossible, you're wrong. Miss Andrews, try to have some composure. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt, I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan. But you're the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing that was that you might end up incriminating yourself. That's because, Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you? Gag her, honestly. I refuse to testify. Well, then you can refuse to testify up in the jail cell, ho. Then there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt Ungard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated. Is it over? Have we found the truth at last? What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt Ungard. What do you want, Edgeworth? Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass on a verdict at this time. What? The reason is quite simple. Should I speak up? Was she going to jail? That's fine. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. Well, she won't talk. What you want me to do? Witness, don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt Ungard will go free. And in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you. What? I was told if I spoke that it would be all over. And Matt would never be declared guilty. What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it? I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. It's Francisca von Karma. Huh? Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself. Then right now, Miss Andrews is... Yesterday she was tossed by a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Matt Ungard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now and is clinging on to them. Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All I do now is get our not guilty. That is my only priority. Girl! Never mind. It wasn't me. I'm begging you. Please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Help. Please, someone help me! You can help yourself if you start talking, friend. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. The court can't continue on like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do. What I intend to do? What am I supposed to say? Oh, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. I think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
And I'm not. Isn't that obvious? There's no one else could be except the woman crying right over there. Come on now. What will you do? What kind of man are you? Just request a not guilty. No matter what she says, Miss Andrews is the only person it could be. Not to mention, I don't have a choice. I have to an incomplete acquittal today. Your Honor, the defense believes there is enough evidence to substantiate our claim. Therefore, we motion that this court passes a verdict of not guilty as soon as possible. I'm disappointed in you, Wright. What have you learned in this past year? I don't give a fuck, Keisha. You're wrong. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this, however. What is going on now? Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulder to disclose this to the court. Stop. Disclose what? This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness.
What the fuck is going on in here on this day?
What? And because of this illness, she has tried to commit... Stop. Please stop. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence. I have it right here. That's the second part of the report. The attempted report. What will you do now, witness? You know what I'm about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews.
You ate that.
The secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world. Please, please stop! I beg you! If people find out, if you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no avail. So that's no concern to me. Edgeworth, how can you be so cold? However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips. God damn! Cold-blooded. Well, no matter what I have to do. So, will you tell the court yourself or shall I? Either is fine with me. I'll talk, but please help me. Girl. Nothing matters anymore. All right, here we go. My crime. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. Honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. So you stabbed a dead body, you crazy bitch? Isn't it obvious why I did that? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man. What? What do you mean by all of this? It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt, that scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time. What happened last time? So Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Carita, in the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt Engard for the murder. And this is her crime. What? How was this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer? Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. We're just gonna press the fuck out of her because I don't have anything to present. But you could tell from the state the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead? He had a scarf tied around his neck. But that scarf is part of the gem and ninja costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice. What is this plan you had? Well, I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because, one, he was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought, I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. So the forged piece of evidence were the knife and the button. The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. Once I made sure it was in the hallway, I made dash to Matt's room. That was so you could get the knife, correct? The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife. It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect. So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it in Mr. Engard's Hakama? Yes, that's what I planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they? Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. An inconvenience? There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway. I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lada. There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. That's Miss Oldbag for you. I had already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. You were the one who prepared the costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there. And what is this secret? That I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, the people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume. I think we've heard enough. So after that, you went back to Mr. Engard's room and planted the button into Matt's Hakama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck out of the hotel and got rid of it. My word, what does all this mean? Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Engard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Francisca, huh? She said that I should under no circumstances confess to what I had done. that if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. The silence is real. What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor. The defense still... Right? It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. He's not wrong. Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. But, Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange your detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for the day. Damn. He hit that gavel and dipped the fuck out. He not even up there no more. Today's trial, it's over. And I didn't win in acquittal. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? What is it? Before you leave court today, I wonder if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for some time now. Shit, mine too. What is it exactly? Oh, this, Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in the room on that day. In the room? That day. Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there right next to him. You found that card next to the victim's body. I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right? Yeah, I guess not, but it's still a strange card if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why. Witness that card. Give it to me. Hurry. Ezra? Do you have any idea we have stupidly yet inadvertently done? This, I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I didn't mean to. What is this all about? I've never seen Ezra so emotional before. What the hell is this card? That card, and what in the world is it? And what does it mean? And now that's okay. Well, we gotta stop. Ezra's on the edge. I'm on the edge. What the fuck? Oh my goodness. That's it for tonight. That was a lot. Y'all, thank you for hanging out with me. This case is crazy as all hell. I don't know who the damn murderer is no more. I thought it was her ass, but it's not. They making me think it's On Guard, but I still don't think it's him because he's dumb. Hell, it could be Juan setting it up in general to make it look like he did it. Like Juan trying to pack himself up out of here. Or whoever the kidnapper is trying to set up I'm stressed. um, but yeah, that's it for me tonight. Reminder, since I did not stream Sims on Wednesday due to the event, I will be streaming on Saturday. Most likely around noon, 1 o'clock. I'll post in Discord when I start. And yes, it'll be on the Purple app Twitch and over on YouTube as well. So both of y'all will get to see both. Let's see who's on. Let's see where I can escape to on tonight. This case it's making my head hurt. It's making my fucking head hurt. Ooh. Are they playing the new... I have options. One option, though, is a spoiler, and I don't know if I want to do that. You know what? Let's go look at some Hello Kitty, because we're gonna be on the Hots for Toddies for February. So let's go over there. Plus, I know it's gonna irritate the fuck out of them for me going over there. That's my favorite thing to do. But yeah, thank you everybody for hanging out with me. I will be back on Saturday, like I said, around either 12 p.m. Pacific or 1 p.m. Pacific. But if you're in the Discord, you'll know exactly what time, because I will post it there. Be sure to copy the raid message. First one if you are subscribed. Second one if you are not. Let me copy it. Damn. And yeah, that's it. Everybody be sure to take care of yourself, love yourself, protect your mental health, because that is so important. I will see you Saturday. And I'll be in chat on Ken's stream tomorrow, so I'll see you there too.